one proverb that never was boring to me, or that that sounds bad, I get it, but I'm just being honest, why not, right? But the one proverb that helped me kind of stay the course is Proverbs 8. And that's what you have in your hand here is Proverbs 8. And TPT means the Passion Translation. I picked that one because I felt like it's the most accessible, easy to read, and we can engage with it the most. The reason Proverbs 8 is the most interesting to me is because it is written, almost all of it, in the first person, which means it is spoken from I, wisdom, am talking to you, Nathan. I, wisdom, am talking to you, Bill. I, wisdom, am talking to you, Linda. So I like that it's first person. Again, me and my conversations, right? You're like, you do this conversation thing. I do. I don't know why, but it really is attractive to me. So when I read this, and I read this for years and years and years, it was very interactive to me. Hey, Sarah, I'm talking to you. If somebody's talking to me, it makes me tend to perk up a little. I'm talking to you specifically, not just in broad, but specifically you. And so when you look at this chapter, it says in the very first couple verses, can you hear the voice of wisdom? Now, part 1 at the very top, it says here, where does she chat? Where does she chat? Now, I'm going to walk you through this kind of briefly, a little bit quickly, because at the end, I'm going to allow some time for us to do some discussion among ourselves, right? If you were here last fall, we did the parable kind of discussion group thingy, and that was really, really cool. And I got massive, fantastic feedback from that. And I was like, you know what? I think this would be another great format to do some conversation around this. So I'll help you kind of work through it, but with some questions at the end. But I'd like for you just to think about it for a moment. In verses 2 and 3, where does wisdom chat? And if you notice, it says here, from the tops of the mountains of influence, she speaks into the gateways of the glorious city. A gateway. Anybody ever been like into a gateway or an entrance? Is it usually a place where there's a lot of people? It can be. It can be. Like I think about when I get on an airplane, or if I go into the airport, you go in the doors and that's a lot of people going in and out. And I think that's interesting because if you keep going, it says at the place where the pathways merge. So at the crossroads, at the entrance of every portal, where she stands, ready to impart wisdom, shouting aloud to all who will enter, preaching her sermon to those who will listen. And in my mind, I always had this idea that wisdom was when I was still and quiet and kind of reflective, and I could be attentive. But when I read these verses, it says to me that wisdom calls out in the busyness of my daily life. Wisdom will talk to you and me at the crossroads. When we're making decisions, go left, go right. When there's a fork in the road. If you read different translations, all these verses don't imply a place that's like super quiet and reflective and like a convent or a monastery. This implies the heavy-duty traffic of daily living. And I want you to appreciate that wisdom can and does want to talk with us in the midst of all the daily humdrum, all the stuff, anxiety, anything that's going on in the daily weeds of your existence. And